Welcome back, guys. We are talking about UFC 319 DDP versus Khamzat Chimaev. Dennis, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. Geez, what an amazing fight. Very exciting. Okay, I think as South Africans, we are a little bit sad. We lost in the rugby, unfortunately, the cricket, and now our world title in the middleweight championship. So yeah, so it's a bit of a sad weekend for the South Africans, but we'll get over it. We've gone through worse.
A lot of people are complaining that this was a boring fight, but I did not find it boring at all. I was gripped to the screen. I couldn't take my eyes off it. What Khamzat was doing, the amount of technical skill, precision, like how he was just flowing, and it was just so beautiful to watch. I mean, it was obviously not good to see Dricus getting beaten up like that, but the technique and the precision and just the excellence and how he executed, it was just absolutely beautiful. Brilliant, brilliant to see.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree 100% with you, Deepak. There, I loved watching that fight. We learn from such fights. I mean, you and me, we're doing jiu-jitsu, so for us, it's exciting to see something like that. I found that was such an awesome grappling match, such an awesome ground game match. I really enjoyed watching it, and like you said, Khamzat was so technical. How he just transitioned straight into the crucifixes from the side guard. It was just amazing. And he kept on doing it. His double leg takedowns are so strong. I mean, everything that we practice in jits, it's exactly what he was doing, and I was just like amazing to watch how it was being implemented in the UFC. That was just amazing to watch. Yeah. Oh, there's his evil look. Our dear Khamzat with his evil smile. Count Dracula. But it's a Lord Darkness, what I'm saying? He's coming for destruction, you know. But yeah, he looked like he had a lot of fun.
So this is, I mean, yeah, he's ready for battle. I mean, there's Dricus. Dricus is also ready. But you know what? I think Dricus was underprepared. Maybe they didn't give the respect. Dricus, Morne Visser, the whole team, they didn't give the respect to the grappling that Khamzat presented. So this is the first round. 5 seconds in. Take a look at the timer there. 5 seconds, and Khamzat is shooting his first takedown.
That first double leg takedown, wow, what that was amazing.
Yeah, 5 seconds in. So there's a bit of a scramble. And this I found very interesting. So Dricus keeps hold of Khamzat's head here. It is like it was almost a guillotine type of position. But from here, just watch how Khamzat escapes this position. So first, Khamzat grabs hold of Dricus's head with his arm here, and he starts driving his weight into Dricus. He's like basically on side mount. And people don't appreciate, hey, Dennis, that how much pressure is getting into Dricus here. It's not like Dricus is just lying on his back and it's chilled. It's heavy, heavy pressure that Khamzat is just pushing in, driving his shoulder in, all his weight.
Of course, yeah. We all know that is the worst position ever to get into. I'm telling you now, it's not nice. It's not a nice position. Uh, I mean, I really felt sorry for Dricus that he even got into that position in the first place. But once you're in there, it's a terrible position. I've had grapplers, I mean, jiu-jitsu guys that are so much better than me, and they get me in positions like that all the time. I know exactly how that feels. So it's not a nice position to be in. You're quite right.
Yeah, and it's very suffocating. It doesn't look like it. And I think this is why people who don't know the art or haven't done jiu-jitsu or grappling, they don't appreciate how uncomfortable Dricus actually is in this situation. And he's doing his best to keep hold of Khamzat's head, right? If he lets go of Khamzat's head, then he's basically fully under side mount. And I found it very interesting how Khamzat actually pops his head out. So what he does here is he drives his shoulder. This is what he's doing right here. He's driving this left shoulder into Dricus's neck here. driving his arm, his bicep, and his shoulder into Dricus. So Dricus is now forced to let go of Khamzat's head. And that's exactly what happens. See, he lets go of Dricus, he lets go of Khamzat's head, and then there you go. Khamzat now fully inside mount. Fully inside mount.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, it was that was just both full body attributes, body physics from there.
And here it's quite dangerous, right? So Dricus is worried about getting full mounted. If he gets full mounted, then Khamzat can start dropping ground and pound, dropping bombs. So he has to prevent getting full mounted at all costs. He's got like both his hands clasped together. That's how he's trying to just keep Khamzat close by. But I found it very interesting how,
Close to him, yes, of course.
yeah, but check how Khamzat then goes for the crucifix. So he starts throwing some punches. He starts throwing some punches at Dricus's head with his left hand. So you can see his left hand here throwing punches. So Dricus now has to let go of his grip, and he's trying to defend his face from the punches, and that's what Khamzat needs. So you see here, that's all he needs. Grabs hold of Dricus's hand there.
Yeah, it was enough for him to clamp that arm. Yeah, he trapped that arm very nicely. He trapped it very, very nicely. Like I said, it was such a smooth transition. He knew what he was doing. He made Dricus worry about something else. Meanwhile, he was concentrating on that arm, and he was getting that arm. So that was really nice the way he transitioned it right into that crucifix. What was obviously devastating after that was the punches that came after that. Jeez, like, he dropped some bombs. I think even a couple of elbows there, but. What did they say about over 100 strikes just from that position alone?
Yes, yes, because exactly. So once he's got that arm, he traps it with his knee and then pins it between his two legs, and there you go. Dricus is now crucifixed, and he's just eating shots. So I do like what Dricus did here.
Eating the punches. Eating the punches, yeah.
I do like what Dricus did here. So he actually hides his head in Khamzat's neck. So he reduces the impact.
Yeah, he kind of tucked it in. Yeah. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I guess it's good that he did that, but is there anything else he can do here, Dennis? What should he have done from? Okay, maybe you should never get into this position, so don't get crucifixed. But if he's here, what can he actually do?
Uh, well, I don't know from the position that I saw, but it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. You see, because Khamzat knew exactly what he was doing. Even for that takedown, that double takedown, you saw that they almost got spiraled into some anaconda move from. Dricus' side, but Khamzat knew how to block that, and that's why he kept on getting the top pressure, and that's what he had a lot of top pressure. But once he had him in that crucifix, I've been crucifixed a couple of times, so the danger there is the ground and pound, the elbows, all of those shots coming in. So he could have braced himself and tried to push his arm upward. But there was just so much top pressure from Khamzat, so it's very difficult to even say that. But maybe try get him to his side and then brace him away from him or frame him away from him, and try to get up with that. But that would have been dangerous. He would have been eating shots there. So he had actually no choice. He had not much to work from there. Even his legs were completely useless in that regard. So there was nothing that he could do much. He couldn't latch onto anything or hook onto Khamzat or anything like that because, like it is, it's a crucifix. So there's nothing much you can do on that. So it is difficult to get out of.
But Dennis, what about this left arm of Dricus, right? He's holding onto Khamzat's neck here, but couldn't he just pull it back in and frame Khamzat's neck, push him away, and try to?
That's what I mean. He could have framed, but in that moment, Khamzat could have given him so many shots. It would have been a potential knockout. I think Dricus knew that. That's why he didn't know what else to go for. To rather just tuck himself in, because him trying to get out and him getting into that frame, just that movement, just to get into that movement requires time and patience. And in that moment, Khamzat, being a clever fighter the way he is, could have really given him a couple of knockout shots. Yeah, exactly, and dropped some bombs, some maybe devastating elbows. You don't know. That's what probably Dricus was scared of or afraid of. Worried about, not I wouldn't say scared or afraid, but he was probably worried about that, you know, trying to not eat any punches or devastating punches.
But I think this actually is a good point you make. I think this was their game plan. This was Dricus and his coaching team's game plan was to survive round 1 and 2 because this is what it looked like. He was not trying to take any risk, but critically not get submitted. But I think it backfired because they probably thought, okay, look, Hamza's going to tire after 2 rounds. Yeah. But they probably thought, look, survive 2 rounds, Hamzat's going to tire, and then we'll get back into the match in round 3, 4, and 5. And that's why they didn't take any risks, right? That's like you said, Dricus, once he's in this position, was just trying to survive and not get submitted or knocked out. So this was interesting when Dricus actually. Do you see this picture, Dennis? He tries to go and hide his head now under Khamzat's stomach. So he moves it away from Khamzat's neck and comes here. But this was worse because now Khamzat's got more distance. So he just drops elbows and bigger shots.
Yeah, yeah, it was terrible to watch. It was terrible to watch. I was really feeling sorry for Dricus there because that was just he couldn't do anything. Uh, he really capitalized. Khamzat capitalized on this. I think that was his actual game plan. I mean, he even said he's just going to smash, and that's exactly what he did. He just took him on his crucifix and smashed him, and didn't give him a chance to even get out of it.
So Khamzat was very clever, I feel, is that he didn't expend as much energy in this first round that we usually see him do. Because he's a lot more hunting like for that submission and pushing and like and fighting. And in this match against Dricus, he was happy to just control, land punches, and then wait for some sort of opening. I think he expended a lot less energy. He managed his energy much better than I've seen in previous fights.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. He actually composed himself quite well, which was quite surprising. Like I said, in the third round, he was not tired. He was breathing calmly. He had a lot of energy and he was ready to go. And normally in the third round, you would see him like he's already tired, because he having used so much energy. But he really composed himself very well.
So this was quite interesting in still in first round. Dricus is still in the crucifix, but Khamzat now pushes Dricus's head down with his left arm and starts pounding Dricus's temple here with his right arm, getting actually quite hard shots. And this is when Dricus decides to let go of the head because he can't take those shots anymore. So he lets go of Khamzat's head and then gives up his back. There's a bit of a scramble, and we end round 1. Round 2.
The same thing. He went for that double leg takedown. It wasn't even a couple of seconds into the round. I think it was maybe 10 or 15 seconds into the round, and Dricus was back on the ground, up against the cage. And that was going on like that for most of the round. He had no answer to that. So, but Dricus was smart. I'm saying even in the first round, like I said, as terrible as it looked, Dricus knew if he moves in any way, this guy is going to come from some angle trying to like mount him. So he was actually scared that he was being mounted from the back. You see, Khamzat tried to get his hooks in. He tried to get his hooks in, and he couldn't get the hooks because Dricus didn't move and just kept it there. That's why you started to slightly hear some boost from the crowd, and they were like, "Ah, this is not moving anyway." A lot of people were not happy with that because they didn't came here to see like a wrestling match. They wanted some stand up, obviously. But Khamzat really did well. He stuck like Dricus said at the end. He was like a blanket. And that's the only thing I can describe it as. He was literally like a blanket. Okay. He was folded right around Dricus, and Dricus had a good position. I mean, he kept this is what I love about jiu-jitsu. It's like you have to be really smart in every move. It's like chess. You can know this guy's got you on this position, but you can't just immediately make a decision on how to move because otherwise this could be an opportunity for him to get his hooks in, for instance, and that's exactly what Dricus was worried about, is for the hooks going in so that he doesn't get rear naked choked, because that was going to be the next move by the Wolf, the rear naked choke. So he was on his back the whole time, and they were up against the cage. I think he even clawed a little bit at one stage into the cage, which is really not allowed. But it was just for a couple of seconds, and then I think that was the end of the round, the second round. So it was basically just him trying to get the climb, and he didn't. And then it went back into the third round. I mean, it was amazing. Yeah, same thing in the third round.
Let's go through this second round because there's some interesting things I picked up here. And you actually covered it very nicely because it's mostly a fence riding round. But check here, 6 seconds into this round, Dricus is actually driving forward, throwing some kicks and punches, basically falling right into Khamzat's trap. And then what does Khamzat do? Immediately goes for the double leg. But here Dricus does something different. He actually escapes this. He sprawls and he escapes. And he gets his foot out. But watch how quickly, this is what I found so amazing. Watch how quickly Khamzat goes for the takedown. Like Dricus has literally not even taken his foot out, and Khamzat is already attacking Dricus's waist. He didn't even give Dricus a split second. He's just relentless, just back in.
I think what actually happened, it's amazing. It was very technical. I mean, the way he kind of sprawled on that double leg takedown, but then he isolated the single leg and climbed that leg and took him, right, like you said, right around his waist, and he kept it there. And that's where we know Khamzat is very strong. He uses his upper body and his forward pressure a lot when he's in that position and drives him forward, basically. That's how he actually got up against the cages, because he was just driving him forward. And you must understand, I mean, with that force on Dricus, it's devastating and it's exhausting. It's exhausting. You've got this huge weight on your back, and you have to worry about this thing climbing you and trying to hook you in and get you in a rear naked choke, So there was a lot of things to worry about for Dricus in that moment, a lot, The sprawl was good. If it could have been a split second quicker, he could have escaped that whole situation. But it was already too late because he already got that double leg takedown, you see. So it was a little bit late when he did the sprawl. He should have done the sprawl. It's like Coach Nathan always teaches us. It's like try not to even get it to that point, where he's already got you on the double leg takedown, because that's trouble for you. Try to get to that sprawl before he even goes and grabs both your legs and gets in there deep, And that's what Khamzat did. He got in deep. And it was quite hard to escape that, even with the sprawl that Dricus was still. That sprawl was fantastic. That's what he should have done throughout the whole time, him going for those double leg takedowns.
Yeah, you're right. He sprawled a bit late here, and that's why he escaped. Khamzat gets it. And then from here, like you said, Dennis, it doesn't look like Dricus is in much discomfort here. But trust me, he is, because Khamzat's driving his weight down. He's got his arms clasped around very tight, like it's like you're in a rope, like that's getting pulled tighter and tighter, off balance. He has to worry about Khamzat getting this leg over here, getting a hook in. He has to worry about getting choked. He has to worry about getting punched in the face. He's got so much things to worry about. It's such a compromising position, right?
He had a lot of things to worry about. Yeah, a lot of things to worry about. You know what I'm saying? It's like, even if Khamzat could have gotten him in the choke, I think it would have been hard for him if he didn't have his hook in. So Khamzat needed that hook, and that's what Khamzat even said. It's like, guys, one thing I don't like is that people start disrespecting the losers. And I don't really like that. But because I can tell you now, even Khamzat, he said he couldn't get in there. The guy was hard to mount. It was hard to mount. So Dricus he had a tough time, but he did a very good job defending all of that, what Khamzat was trying to throw at him. So yeah, let's give him a big respect and a big shout out to Dricus. I mean, he handled that so well, knowing that he was literally outmatched in the grappling game here in this case, and he really handled it well. And it was, I mean, what a wow match.
Like right over here, Khamzat's trying to get his knee or his leg over here to get a hook in, and Dricus is doing very, very well to defend that. He's keeping his elbow there. He still has to watch for a rear naked choke that can come at any moment. I mean, this was really good defense from Dricus. People don't appreciate it because it doesn't look like much, but he's got so much to worry about.
No, yeah, exactly. I just heard the booing. It's like, oh, boo, boo, boo. I was like, you know how hard it is, what this guy is going through. It's like, I feel for him. I mean, my heart was like, geez, this is the worst position. And these are the positions that I used to get into. I still get into them with people who are much better, like the purple belts, the brown belts, you know. It's just devastating, and it's really not a nice position to be in when you have that weight on your back.
So anyway, from here, Khamzat just throws some knees to the back, to the thighs, to the lower stomach, etc. He then tries to get Dricus's back, and again, Dricus defends the rear naked choke. People don't appreciate this. Here, Khamzat's got one hook in. He's basically can get the other hook in. He's very close to a submission here, but Dricus defends perfectly. Gets his arms in there, tucks his chin in there, keeps it out. And then Khamzat takes him back to the fence. And this is sort of how that second round plays out. Third round, look at this. 8 seconds in, what do we get again? Another double leg.
And he takes it, like, gets the takedown. Gets the takedown. And it's like, you think, it's like, okay.
This was quite a special takedown because here Dricus actually tried to run backwards, but Khamzat just follows him and then picks him up. I know this picture is a bit blurry because it happened so quickly, but he picks him up and slams him down onto the floor. And then we're back to here again, back to that fence riding position. There was not much Dricus could do there. What could he do there? Because the commentators were saying Dricus should start attacking the arms, right? Start attacking Khamzat's arms, trying to break them free. What are your thoughts on that?
That in the third round, yes. Yeah, in the third round, he should have. They should have what he meant. I heard him say he should have. He should take it like a baseball. What he meant by that, like to grab both with both his hands, grab the arm and try to throw him over. Or buckle him over, you know what I'm saying, or do something, get into some sort of tumble. But I'm sure that's what he did. He just didn't want to get. He knew he was dealing with a very good grappler, and you can't just give up any position. And I think that's where Joe Rogan was also, is like, look, you can't just give up uh, uh, any position. He's dealing with a high class grappler here, and wrestler and jiu-jitsu artist. So it was a bit difficult for Dricus to get out of that. No matter, he could have. I feel that maybe he could have braced a bit more, tried to escape a bit more. I didn't see much of that. It seemed like he was rather a little bit clumsy on his feet as well, waving around his feet. His bottom. It's almost like his feet weren't functioning properly. But something could have been done there. Maybe he could have trapped Khamzat's legs in some way, or tried to get him somehow and just get him to tortoise position. And even though he's giving up his back, but at least he would have been out of that position on the ground and haven't been grounded like a sticker. There, I agree. He could have done a little bit more, but I think he just didn't have an answer to Khamzat's aggressive attack on the ground. He just didn't have an answer to that. And again, he kept getting again into the crucifix. He was given into a crucifix 3 times.
So let's go to the next crucifix because this happens right now in round. So the next crucifix is coming right now. So Khamzat takes it back to the middle of the octagon. Dricus is on his back. This is where I think Dricus made a mistake. So here Dricus should be pulling guard, right? From this position, he's got both his knees up. Khamzat's basically in guard, but Dricus doesn't pull guard here. And as quick as sticks, Khamzat just passes his legs and gets to side mount. I mean, do you think it was just Dricus was tired? I don't know, like didn't think about was
Look, let me tell you something. When you're in that cage, Deepak, when you're in that cage, my brother, and you are being drilled like that, I mean, the last thing on your mind is maybe should I put him into guard? Maybe he was still in survival mode, thinking like, geez, bro, how am I going to get out of that? He wasn't thinking clearly. He's like, it's something you can't in that moment he had to improvise. He had to. I don't think he could think of even capitalizing. He was just surviving, you know. And it was a learning curve for him. It was definitely a learning curve for him. He has not been in a fight like this before, as extreme in a grappling game as this fighter. That was probably the most challenging fight in his fighting career for Dricus du Plessis. And I believe he will come back, and I hope he would want to come back, because after something like that, I would have been, for some time, I would be very, very devastated for a while, not wanting to even see people and lock myself in my room and, not talk to anybody. That's how bad Khamzat actually beat Dricus in this regard. He had no answer in every single round, you know. Um, but let's hope he comes back.
So I mean, like these are mistakes that maybe they're not instincts for Dricus yet because he hasn't spent as much time with his grappling, right, as Khamzat. So he didn't pull guard. Khamzat immediately passes, goes to side mount, and then from here, this is I found really interesting, Dennis. I want your comments here. So here, Dricus knows the crucifix is coming, so he even clasps down harder. So you can see here he's holding his two hands together, clasping down, preventing the separation of arms, because that's when Khamzat's going to crucifix him. But this is how Khamzat breaks that arm. Check how he brings his knee in this gap here, and he puts that knee into Dricus's face, just kneeing Dricus, putting that pressure in, breaking that grip that Dricus had. I mean, look at that technique. That's just perfect timing. He found the gap. I mean, it's just such precision.
Yeah, it was very technical, that move, and I think Dricus saw it coming. That's what I quite agree with you. He saw it coming, and again, he didn't know what to do out of that one because it was so technical. He knew Khamzat knew exactly what to do. He's like, oh, okay, he's moving this side. All right, let me put my knee in his face, and boom, all right, there we go. I've just trapped his arm, finished there. So it was so slick, the move. You're quite right. There's nothing that he could do, even though he saw it coming. And
Yeah, then it's crucifix again. So round three, crucifix, repeat. Like, I mean, I've never seen a crucifix before in UFC, and in one fight, I get to see it twice already by round three.
outstanding performance. But like I said, by both fighters, I mean, geez, Dricus took a lot of exhaustion there. He tried everything to get out, and I hope they go back to the drawing board. And even me, when I go to Jits tonight, I'm going to be looking at things like that. How do I escape crucifixes? How do I prevent getting into a crucifix in the first place? Because those are the things that you have to really consider. How did he get into that crucifix, and what could he have done to prevent himself being put into that position? Because it's something that I don't think he's ever experienced before. I've experienced it, but it's for me, it's like you just don't get into a crucifix. If you see that they're trying to get you into it, try to get out of it. Get to your side and get on your feet as quickly as possible. I think one of the commentators even said it's like he just needs to get back on his feet. That's what I kept on saying. He needs to get back on his feet, and that's what he should have done. It's just straight back onto his feet, and try to keep it up on the floor. They said that the referee kept it on the ground for too long, but I think the referee did the right thing. To be honest, there was like mixed emotions about that, and mixed emotions about the fight. That it was boring, but at the end of the day, guys, this is MMA, mixed martial arts. So grappling and jiu-jitsu and ground game, wrestling is a big part of MMA, and they should never forget that. It's not just about striking. It's not just about good roundhouse kicks and spinning back kicks and spinning back elbows. I actually saw quite a lot of spinning back elbows. What I was thinking about that? I was like, okay, so Pico was using the same style as Khamzat. You could see it, the forward pressure, the coming around the waist and moving up against the cage, and he had that good forward pressure up until Ron decided to give him that spinning back elbow. And I'm thinking to myself, if Dricus did that, could this game have been different? I was just thinking to myself because it's the same what Khamzat was using, and he got him with a spinning back elbow. Boom, out. I was like, wow, this could be a way to use against Khamzat if ever. But yeah, it's too late now to think about it. But what a great fight! What a great fight and what a great performance from both fighters.
This round three was the only round scored at 10-8 by all the judges, and this, I mean, I guess I agree. Dricus took a lot of damage here. I mean, from this crucifix position, he again goes to try hide under Khamzat's legs here, but this just opens up. Khamzat now drops a couple of bombs, elbows, gets onto mount. He mounts Dricus, drops a few more bombs, but Dricus then just gives his back up because he can't be bottom of mount. So Dricus gives us his back. Again, he defends. Again, he defends that rear naked choke. Again, people don't understand how many times he was defending getting choked out in this match.
And he defended it well. He defended it so well. That's the thing. It's even Khamzat said he had no answer to that. He was trying to get to that back, and he defended it so well. It's like, nah, I couldn't get his back. I remember he was saying in one of the interviews, I just couldn't get to his back. I got to his back, but I could not finish the move. That's why I'm saying it's hard to judge uh, on this fight. This fight was from both sides very challenging. Even for Khamzat, it was challenging for him to finish that position or finish the move. So um, it's wow. It's just something that I wished for, that it would go to the floor, and it did. It went to the ground, and we saw some amazing grappling. This is like what we train. We train this at Gracie Jiu Jitsu four ways, and it was exciting to see. It was very exciting to see.
So I want to just talk through the last round, which was round five, which had a little bit of a twist. Here we go. 19 seconds into round five. Khamzat goes for the double leg.
Again,
And he gets Dricus onto his back. And this is the third crucifix coming up. The third crucifix. So again, Dricus tries to hold his arms. He knows the crucifix is coming. But check at Khamzat, just getting his knee in there. And once he straightens his body out, once he gets his knee in there, straightens his body out, it doesn't matter how strong Dricus is. I mean, people don't understand this. Like, it doesn't matter how strong you are. It's Khamzat's entire body weight fighting Dricus's one arm here. He's got no hope. It's just elite technique, isn't it, Dennis?
yeah, that knee slice is devastating. It's a technique. It's a knee slice. They, I mean, we do it a lot in class as well. It's the knee slice, but we do it from the leg on. So when we come out of the guard, we try to break the guard or pass the guard. Sometimes we take the inner guard and use a knee slice in order to do the side mount or get the side control. So that's exactly what Khamzat is doing here. He's using the knee slice in order to get him into a crucifix. Very smart. So and that's but it's not even there. It's not even complete yet. From the picture that you see, it's not complete yet. He still has to take Dricus's hand and push it down so that he can lock his leg or his foot in there in order to finish off the crucifix. So at the knee slice, it's not finished yet. So there is more technique to it. He still has to break his. You see there he breaks his. Yeah, you see he breaks his hold, and then he's in. There he has his crucifix. Yeah, and obviously he keeps his body pressure forward. Keeps his body pressure forward. You can see his head is almost touching the floor there. There's nothing you can answer to that. Once that upper body is there, you have no control there. Your top opponent has full control in this position.
Yeah, that's like another very good technique.
And as you can see, it looks rather clumsy. The way he's moving his legs from side to side, it looks rather clumsy. But there is no answer to that. He can't hook onto it unless if he would have flipped back. I don't know how fit he is, but he could have threw his legs back towards him and maybe try hook his legs or his arms with his legs somehow. That he could have done, like he could have angled, if you know what I'm saying. Do you understand what I'm saying? Well, when I say he could have angled, perhaps angled to try and get out of the crucifix. But it looked like he was in full mount there. Khamzat was in full control with that crucifix. I think he was also controlling his body weight so that he couldn't get out. You see what he was doing here. That's what he should have done. He kind of buckled Khamzat off there and created some space there. But yeah, it was very difficult. And there he was giving up his back. He's going for Americano, but also there's a huge risk of now Dricus giving up his back, you see. But yeah, you see, Khamzat was having fun there. And he did give up. Yeah, exactly. He did. So he first tried to go for the Americana, which was probably a decoy to get Dricus to turn more towards his arm to get away from the Americana, and that's what happened. He took his back.
I mean, Hamza just knew. He was just playing Dricus. He knew, like, if Dricus, you do this, I'm going to take your back. If you do that, I'm going to side mount you. If you do, like, whatever Dricus was going to do, he was going to fall into a trap that Khamzat had basically set up. And that's just the technical intelligence that this fight had. This was probably the best opportunity, right? This little sequence that Dricus and Khamzat had, Dricus's best opportunity to do something in this match. What do you think he should have done as we play through these few little pieces here? What do you think, Dennis?
Well, it's difficult to say because what I can see here now, Khamzat has got his, he's got a grip on he's still got the grip on Dricus, you know. But in that scramble that you saw there, that was when they were busy tumbling, isn't it? So Dricus should have used that a lot more in order rounds. So I think only in the fifth round he kind of learned and kind of got to go with the flow with Khamzat. It understood how his man is moving now, you see, but it was already too late. But he figured it out. So yes, Dricus did kind of figure it out. He changed his game as well. You could see it, and you thought to yourself, okay, yes, this is exactly what you were doing in Submission Kings. You were using a lot of that, a lot of tumble, and your body weight was your attributes were correct, but he kind of still lost it. But that was because he was exhausted. I mean, after 5 rounds, Khamzat still had all the energy, and Dricus was basically flat.
But this was the key moment, eh? You check this moment. This is where Dricus almost got the gilly.
It was a key moment. Something could have happened. Yeah, yeah, I got the gilly there, but
Commentators were saying maybe he rushed it and he went too fast. I don't know if he went too fast. Let's go.
nice. I don't know if because from that movement there, he should. Yeah, I don't know if he had his legs in correctly. I think his legs were a little bit wrong. He couldn't lock it in properly.
Because I think it's his left leg, eh? Yeah. Then Khamzat pops his head out.
That's why he went straight into guard and he couldn't get the frame. That's why he went straight into guard. He couldn't get the frame. The frame, if he would have had his legs in on that guillotine, right, and Khamzat escaped somehow, he would have had a frame and he would have been able to either get up or just had him in full guard, which is yeah, like butterfly. He could have gotten him into a butterfly or something like that from that frame, but he didn't, and that's why he was in full. It took him into full guard. So that was he had no other choice but to put him into full guard. It wasn't like, see there, you got him in full guard. He had no other choice but to keep him close, and then that was the end of the round.
Look, I mean, Dricus got a few little kicks in. He landed like one couple of punches, couple of kicks, but that's sort of how the fifth round ended. I don't think anyone is complaining about the decision. We obviously wanted our boy to win, but that didn't happen.
Well, let's see what happens next time.
Look, I think Dricus probably has a good grappling offensive game. We saw that with the submission Kims. He could submit the guys. He's got quite good offense, but I think his defensive grappling is maybe what was lacking, and they underestimated what Khamzat could do because it really looked. I mean, Khamzat made Dricus look like a white belt.
Yeah. That's what was very worrying to see is that he did make him look like a white belt or a blue belt, like me, first stripe. This is exactly because I think Khamzat it would be more like a purple belt, brown belt. The way he was grappling there, that looked more like a purple belt, brown belt sort of category that he was at, and that's what he was up against. But having said that, he's experienced now what Khamzat is like, which many people in this game have not, and he will get the experience, or he got the experience from this fight, definitely 100%. And I'm hoping that he will come back from this stronger and learn from it and find some sort of way to capitalize on those moves. Because he did almost in the end. I mean, you could see he was going with the flow. All of a sudden, you saw real jiu-jitsu there. The way they were tumbling there and scrambling for position, that was a real nice jiu-jitsu game that we saw there from both parties, and that's what we should have I think that's what we wanted to see for the full 5 rounds. But we only got to see it in the last fifth round from Dricus. And I think when he comes back, he will capitalize on that, and we hopefully see some more scrambling. Oh, Murphy's Law, they're going to just keep it standing up next time. So well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I heard that they tried to already put him in a new fight with Khamzat, and the coach has declined it though. So he said no, not he's not ready yet. So let's give them some time. Let them go back on the drawing board and be surprised for the next fight.
Yeah, look, I'm glad Mornay Fisser didn't take that rematch. They're definitely not ready. I think they've realized what they need to work on, which they should have worked on before this match. Like, let's be honest, they knew what Khamzat was going to do.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we all saw it. We all saw how Khamzat attacks, how Khamzat uses his double leg takedowns, how Khamzat uses his climb on the back. He does it all the time, and he did exactly that. So he didn't change his game plan, and stuck to his game plan, and won the middleweight title. So well done to Khamzat. We knew that he was. All of us knew that he was going to do it. We just don't know why Dricus's team didn't prepare for that. You're right, probably. They were taking it maybe a bit too laxy daisy and thought that they could outsmart him with the tools that they had, you know, not knowing that he is a professional jiu-jitsu artist, grappler, wrestler, since he was 5. So, and even then, I mean, Dricus has done judo since he was 5, but I didn't see much judo in that fight either, you know. So they need to definitely work on that intense ground game, and learning how to take the pressure, learning how to survive, but not just survive, escape, get out of it. Like my coach he puts me under huge pressure. My coach, Sensei Mike Parlin, and he put me under huge pressure before my competition, and it helped me so much. It was terrible, the worst feeling that you would ever feel or want to feel, but it made me think under huge, extreme pressure, and what is it? Yeah, like I said, under huge pressure. Try to get out of it and just surviving and get out at least. And Dricus didn't do any of that. He didn't try to get out, or maybe he's just trying to play it careful. Like you said, he was tucking, or like we saw, he was hiding in his chest there, trying to escape the punches, but and playing it probably smart and not getting caught with any TK or knockouts or anything like that. But yeah, we hope that for next time that we'll prepare and be prepared for when the takedown comes. Be prepared for when the crucifix is being put on, before it even gets put on, so that he gets out of those, and defends that before it even gets put on.
Yeah, I agree. He needs to figure out how to defend that takedown much, much better. It was too easy for Khamzat. I think there were like 17 takedown attempts and he landed 12 of them. That's way too easy. Dricus needs to make it much more difficult and figure out how to escape from bottom of side mount or from that when Khamzat has his back when he's on one knee. He just has to figure out how to escape. Otherwise, there's no real point for a rematch.
Yeah, well, I think he's going to work on that. I think he saw what what was in store for him and what was coming for him. I think he knew. I think Dricus knew. I think so, but I don't know if his coaches knew what was coming, or maybe you just don't know. Like I said, you know what's coming, but once you're in the cage, it all leaves you. Especially if you face to face with someone like Khamzat, and he actually puts it on. Because it's one thing to study him on a video and see what he does. It's another thing when you're in the cage and it actually gets done to you. So I think he was shocked just as much as we were that this is. I mean, it was manhandled. He was basically manhandled by Khamzat. That's devastating. It's even devastating to the soul. So I think he's going to have to come. When you come out of a fight like that and you lose in that way, uh, you have to like some sort of calm down. For a while, a couple of weeks, just stay away from everybody and just recenter yourself mentally, not just physically, but mentally, you know. So that needs to be done first, number one. And then from there, you start working on your fitness, you start working on what you've done wrong, and you keep watching that video over and over again as much as it hurts and see what you did wrong. And that's it. That's what they should be doing now, you know, and prepare for the next fight and prepare for it properly.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Look, Dricus has got a good mentality. He's going to be back. He's still a top fighter. He's got some great skills, but this is just a lesson on his road to the UFC. And I don't know what.
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah, so let's follow the story. I think I'm very impressed that Dricus survived those 5 rounds because most people thought he was going to get submitted, in rounds 1 or 2. He took a lot of punches. He defended rear naked chokes. He defended Americanas. He defended a whole bunch of positions. He was uncomfortable for most of the match, but he actually put up a real dogged fight. He just didn't have the skills. He didn't have the tools. He didn't have the skills, to get out. That's what I felt. He didn't know what to do in those positions.
Right. Exactly. That's exactly it. They need to just focus more on jiu-jitsu now. Just jiu-jitsu. They've got the stand up, they've got the takedowns, they've got the stamina, the fitness is there. I think now maybe they need to isolate a little bit more on the jiu-jitsu, you know, because I'm not good in jiu-jitsu. I'm just a bluebird, like I said, and all those moves, I saw them. It's been done to me. So I know how I would get out of it, or I know how I would defend that, or how not to even get into that position in the first place, because it gets done to me all the time, you know. So that for someone who does jujitsu, you know, and jujitsu only, then for them it's easy to see, you know. But for someone who's not as experienced in jiu-jitsu and is not really in depth in the actual art and the different moves, I mean, there's 1,000 moves out there of jiu-jitsu that you can inflict on a person. It's just so many. You will never. It's better just to learn two or three and get perfect at those, and you know. And that's exactly what I wanted to say about Khamzat. All you do, I mean, all you see is him do those moves. So he's perfected those moves. He's made it his life, you know, those moves. So now you need to go and come up with a real good defense and offense move for those positions. That's it. That's all. You know, it's not too much work. Just a little bit of homework, just to get into these positions and get out of them and defend them, and that's it. We as jiu-jitsu artists, we know about it, you know, but I don't know, I would have thought that they would have actually isolated jiu-jitsu a little bit more when it comes to someone like Khamzat Chimaev, you know.
Dennis, what's your thoughts about the Russian wrestling and the jiu-jitsu? They're similar, but they're also quite different, eh? Because it seems like Khamzat is more on the sambo and the Russian wrestling and the grappling, and it's slightly different to jiu-jitsu, even though they like overlap and there's similarities and a whole bunch of things. I mean, in my opinion, I think Dricus, if he wants to take on Khamzat, he needs to actually replicate what it's like fighting against Khamzat. He needs to go train in Dagestan with those Russian wrestlers, maybe spend like, I don't know, a year in Dagestan and train with people that are as good at grappling as Khamzat is.